For Bonjour Catherine, this is Catherine from the French Friends. So we have already 2 French speakers. We have at exactly an hour from now another Zoom with Catherine with the AHFU for the trip to having a mission to Paris and Israel on November. Yeah, so have a follow-up mission in Zoom after that. So maybe Debbie, we can start, and you can just give the framework for this conversation. And by the way, thank you, Jonathan, for your time, and Maxine. Since we are in Europe, we are not. How should I say? For years, Europe was focused more on LSEC, and most of the offices in Europe focus their fundraising for LSEC, first to build LSEC, and then for scholarship program, and whatever is LSEC is very close to the European people's hearts. And now, last year, we are starting to shift to computational medicine. Of course, we have some donors that are focused more on the special scholarship program, and we have even in Sweden, I think we have one of the family foundation is giving specifically to Ethiopian students. But so we are not so aware about your initiative, and it is a great opportunity for us to see if we can find people that are interested and join this very important effort.
So thank you, Daniel. First, I just want to do a quick round so that Jonathan and Maxine know who we're with, and just to tell them that the LSEC is it's a brain center, brain sciences at Hebrew University. It's part of the Edmund and Lily Safra Center for Brain Sciences. So just to put that into context, and then, so I'm Debbie, and I represent the Montreal Friends, the Canadian Friends, sorry, of Hebrew University. And, I'm going to just allow for us to know who's on the call. So Jonathan, you want to introduce, well, you know what, let's let Jonathan go last so that he can actually sort of speak about stuff. So Maxine, if you'll just let the people know who you are.
I'm Maxine Finkelstein, and I'm based in Montreal. Nice to meet everybody. And I am the professional president of the Morris and Rosalind Goodman Family Foundation. I work closely with Jonathan and his family members, and we are one of the larger private family foundations in Canada. And I worked for many years in the philanthropic world, and particularly in Israel-related, Jewish-related, as well as other areas. So it's wonderful to meet you, and thank you very much, Debbie, for setting up the meeting. And we're so pleased to be part of the Hebrew University world now.
And
thank you.
Catherine?
Hello, I'm Catherine Bellet. I'm the director of the French office of the Hebrew University. Very happy to meet all of you. I don't have the chance to know you already. And as Daniel said, we are more involved for research than for scholarship, but I'm very interested in the effort you're doing now and very happy to learn what you do.
Et si vous voulez parler en français, nous, comme on est à Montréal,
Oui.
vous pouvez parler en français.
C'est parti.
Okay, Antoinette, we don't hear you. Unmute yourself, Antoinette.
Okay,
Voilà.
So hi to everyone. My name is Antoinette Grossman. I'm the president of the Belgian Friends, and happy to see new people from the Canadian Friends. And so we've been funding 2 labs at LSEC, and we still have some fundraising to do to complete the 2nd lab, but I'm all ears.
Excellent. And Miriam?
Yes, hi, Miriam Eilenberg. I work with Daniel in the European office, European desk in Jerusalem, focusing our efforts on fundraising and contacts with European foundations. And I'm in the car driving, so that's why you can't see me. Nice to meet you and nice to see you.
And
Ju-
Miriam's quite
ju-
beautiful and lovely, so there you go.
Yeah, she's from Sweden originally. Just to mention about Miriam, we have in the European office foundation team who's focused only on fundraising and from foundations, family foundation, and like more like big foundation, professional foundations, and actually the income from Europe as a general, for example, for the last year was 90% of the income of the donation were from foundations. And that's why we put very much emphasis on the foundation issues. Most of them are, I would say, from Switzerland. That's why it's very important that Miriam is on the call, because we have at least 15 foundations that we have on daily basis, weekly basis contact, and we send them a new proposal and things like that. So it's very important for us to see if we can combine the issue of today with the foundations.
So thank you for that. And just to give a quick preamble, I think one of the true benefits of this, and we're so pleased to have both Jonathan and Maxine helping, is that as a complementary family foundation, and I believe the second largest right now Jewish family foundation in Canada, it holds a lot of weight when Jonathan goes to speak to people, because he speaks as a peer to another foundation.
Mhm.
So quite wonderful. And I wanted to set this up.
I think we're third.
Third?
Azrieli, Adams, and then us.
Okay.
Or I should say Adams, Azrieli, us.
Okay. So
Not that I'm competitive.
but you're also the nicest. There you go. So to put it into context, Jonathan put forth, and the Family Foundation put forth a challenge to us, and Jonathan will tell the story of why, to go out and raise $5 million US to be able to support students of Ethiopian descent in Israel to come to the Hebrew University, and also they're working with Tel Aviv University, and to be able to study unburdened by financial needs. And to let you know that this started, I guess, about 8 or 9 months ago, and we're very close to the goal right now, which is why it's so imperative to have a worldwide global footprint in this project. And why Europe is so important to us is that it has been mostly focused into some of the larger foundations in both Canada and the US. And we've been very fortunate, because in order to raise that kind of money, you do need $1 million plus gifts. And we had, I think, 4 of the major gifts that came in were close to or at $1 million plus. And that's what really helped us to reach the goal. And the rest of it now is to have that footprint of, anybody who wants to participate is going to help us to reach the 5 million. And then the Goodman Family Foundation, the Morris and Rosalind Goodman Family Foundation, and with Jonathan's leadership, is going to be making a gift of $900,000 US, which brings us well over $1 million in the Canadian dollars. And it's been an incredible journey, because we're also learning, and I just want to share with you, because I think both of you, I remember seeing you both at the recent Board of Governors. I'm right? I did see you guys on the bus. Okay, so I got to meet firsthand for the first time some of these students, and it was incredible. It was incredible to hear their stories, the impacts of these gifts, where they are going. And for us as Canadians, what was really, really special is that one of the students that we met did an internship with the Asper Huji Innovate, which is also another Canadian donor. So they went from meeting Shauna's sister and brother-in-law at one table, then to another table to meet other Canadian donors who had supported where they were interning. It was brilliant and beautiful. And I can't say enough about how important this is, but Jonathan can. So I'm going to turn it over to Jonathan and Maxine, who can sort of explain the impetus for this and how it came. And also just to let you know that this is one of the university's top priorities. So there are 3 communities within Israel that are underserved. And through the guidance of Mona Khoury, they are looking at diversity. And so the Ethiopian students, the Arab students, and the Haredi students. And so we're here to ensure that the Ethiopian students are well served. And now I turn it over and turn off my mic.
So good morning, good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Goodman. I started a drug company when I was 28, sold it when I was 44 for 3.2 billion. And I never wanted my family to fight over money. So when I was 28, I said to my siblings, I said, look, I'm going to start this business. I don't know if it's going to be successful or not, but you can be my partners provided you don't have any say on how the business is run. I'll run it and you'll read about deals in the newspaper like everyone else. And thankfully they agreed. And then when the business was sold, I finally went back to my siblings. I said, look, for 19 years, I've asked nothing of you and you've heard nothing about the business from me. I have one request, and that is that a nice percent of the proceeds of the sale of my business go to tzedakah. And without blinking an eye, in seconds, we became the 3rd largest charitable foundation in Canada. Sorry, the 13th largest charitable foundation in Canada. And it warms my heart. Like we're not put on this earth just to take up space. We're put on this earth to make a difference. And the foundation, giving money is almost as much fun as making money. And I love making money. So I went to a fundraiser at a friend's basement for Ono College several years ago. And the speaker was an Ethiopian rabbi, an Israeli of Ethiopian descent rabbi. And he spoke about what it's like to be Black in Israel. And he started rattling off statistics. 26% of the inmates in military prisons in Israel are Black, and they represent under 2% of Israel's population. A Black, for the same job, a Black will earn, and the same education background, a Black will earn less than a white. Police shootings, and if I close my eyes as he was talking, I would think he was talking about Texas and not our beloved state of Israel. And I left the meeting disgusted. Of all people, we should be above racism. And our solution has always been, our people's solution for racism or for inequality has always been education. And I left saying, Ono College is a great solution, but it's not a game changer. And to change the trajectory, to change a person's life, they need to get the best education money can buy. And in Israel, it's at Hebrew University and Tel Aviv University, full stop. And also, there needs to be integration. Israelis of Ethiopian descent can't live in Israel's periphery. They have to live in the major centers. They have to live in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. And certainly the statistics in North America are clear. A vast majority of people end up living in the town that they went to university in. They build their network, they build their friends, they have their community, and they stay. And so long-term, we're not an overnight people. This is not going to be an overnight solution. But over time, this is going to change the social fabric of Israel for the better. And as my mother, a blessed memory, used to say, you can never go wrong with education. And so there's no downside. We are going to touch lives through education. And so the initial goal was $5 million US to be raised by each of Hebrew University and Tel Aviv University to fund scholarships for Israelis of Ethiopian descent. And Maxine and I calculated that it will cost about $15,000 US per year per student. And it's not just tuition, but it's living expenses, We have to make sure that they could support their family, that we're setting them up for success, for sustained success. And this will fund about 666 years of education. And thankfully, I'm so pleased that Hebrew University has almost already achieved this $5 million. And I was so pleased with that, that I said, you know what, let's not stop. And so I will give another $900,000 to Hebrew University for the next $5 million that is raised for scholarships for Israelis of Ethiopian descent. But this $5 million will be put into an endowment. The first $5 million I want it spent immediately to touch lives now. The next $5 million, because I don't believe there will be the need for that money yet. We'll set up an endowment. And then I'm going to spend, after the next $5 million is raised, I'm going to spend my time trying to ensure that there are enough Ethiopians who pass the matriculation, that go through high school successfully, that are able to get to the promised land of a Tel Aviv or Hebrew University education. And that's why Maxine and I are here. We want to touch lives through education, and we want to help Israel's most vulnerable, which are the Israelis of Ethiopian descent community.
And just talk a little bit about your trip that's coming up.
So thank you for the prompt. So as a fundraising tool, we're organizing a trip to Ethiopia in winter 2023. And it's going to be Maxine, maybe perhaps you want to talk about it.
Sure, I'm in a place that's a bit noisy, so sorry if there's a bit of background. But we're really looking to do the trip for two reasons. One reason, the first is that obviously we want to use it as a pivotal point in order to raise money so that people will close a gift and see it as an opportunity to get a little bit more background and history and to celebrate the history of the Ethiopian people. So they see it as something that is so important in terms of the narrative of Jewish peoplehood. And we're trying to flip that view that many people have, that they see the Ethiopian story in Israel as one of poverty, one of difficulty. And yes, those elements are all true, but it's also a story of opportunity for us to really make sure that everybody coming now, as well as young people today, are able to benefit from this support, and also to look up to those people, those Israelis of Ethiopian descent who've really achieved a lot. So we want to go back and hear their stories. Where did they come from? What did it mean? Walk part of the walk they did for those who left Ethiopia through Operation Moses, Operation Solomon. And it's just a short trip. We're going to be 4 days probably. And we're looking to, as Jonathan said, to do it in the winter. There's a possibility we may move it a little bit earlier, but and we'll go along with Ethiopians, Israelis of Ethiopian descent as educators who could tell us their personal story. So it's not tourism as such. It's like a mission, but with a very specific goal. And
but we're going there to raise money. So it's $18,000 to come, donation to come at minimum. And we have two opportunities. One is winter, another is we may move it up earlier because there's another mission going, which we may be able to hop along.
Right, and we, it's open to anybody who wants to participate, who wants to make the commitment, and we'll hope as many people as possible to join and to get funders from all over the world, obviously, including Europe. So, and the money goes to the universities. That's what it's for, 100%.
So I am available. If you have donors, I'm available to speak to anyone, anytime. I will travel. I want this to happen. So please use me as a resource. And listen, I don't just sell drugs. I can sell.
So just to let our wonderful colleagues in Europe know also, they did do this in the UK so far. and brought together both universities at somebody's office. And Jonathan was there with a good friend of his, Gideon Pollock, who's also part of the committee and whose family were quite generous with us in our campaign. And the president made a gift. And other people who were there from Hebrew University were making gifts because it's a personalized ask. He's right there talking about this, and people want to be part of something that someone who's a peer is part of. So
I don't have to tell
use
you,
them.
people
Use
give
the guide.
people give to people, not causes. I can sell, and I will.
Et
Yeah.
nous sommes disponibles en français aussi, si c'est mieux.
Oui. Oui.
C'est bien.
Oui.
Oui, Antoinette.
Just so I'm clear, you're asking a donation of minimum $80,000?
18 high to go on the trip, but
Right.
How much?
18,000.
Oh, 18,000. Okay, so that makes
But
sense.
that's for the trip. If you want to go on the mission to Israel, ça coûte 18,000. But donations in any amount are appreciated that go directly to the campaign and the scholarships. But they're saying if you want to travel with us, we would like to see a commitment of a minimum of 18,000, but it's payable over 2 years. So it's 9,000 and 9,000, and then you're part of this somewhat, I don't want to use the word elite, but elite group that is traveling with the Ethiopians. And hopefully one of two scenarios. One is that they travel with the last plane of Olim coming to Israel. And the other one is that we experience the walk that they did for Operation Solomon. And it's really interesting to us because things like the Red Sea diving, one of the executive board members at Hebrew University was very involved in this. And we have Mona also at our disposal to help. She's absolutely not disposable. She's incredible, and she really is a superstar. And when she speaks about this, her knowledge and understanding of this community and what their needs are and how to ensure that they're coming from different backgrounds. You know, Maxine will tell you also.
I've done the trip a couple of years back. So it was organized by a French Jewish organization, and we departed from Israel, then went to Addis Ababa, then we visited Gondar, which is, I don't know if they have the schools left, but anyway, there are the Jewish cemeteries that you want to visit. It's a must. And then we accompanied about, I don't know, 300, maybe 200 Ethiopians back to Israel. And that was amazing too. They had never seen a plane.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But then again, is this campaign only directed towards Ethiopian Jews, or if in Israel there are other Black students, would they be eligible?
No, it's for Israelis of Ethiopian descent, particularly because we identified them. I mean, obviously, it's the issue and the niche that we've identified where we really believe we can have an impact. And so, yes, that's the population we're looking to support.
So you're going to check. You're going to check whether they were born in Ethiopia, or whether the parents were born in Ethiopia. What are you going to check?
We're not checking anything. When these students apply to the university, they're eligible in undergrad for particular support from the Ministry of Immigration and Absorption for Aliyah and Vita, and it's because they come from Ethiopia. So they're identified as students with particular needs. So they come under that banner. I mean, they'll receive a portion of their tuition, and then we add on to that with the additional support. I obviously the student has to come forward and identify themselves.
So it's also, it's undergrads and graduates and postdocs. It's students at all levels that we really are trying to support. And a big chunk of this also is to ensure that they're continuing their education with the ability to continue, because today's undergrads, it's not the same. But just to let you know, last year there was a student, his name is Wenda McGegan, and he's married to an Israeli. He's of Ethiopian descent. He doesn't identify as Jewish, and I don't think he is. There was monies there for him as well. So it wasn't through the Goodman Family Foundation gift that was there. We had other donors, and he just graduated. In fact, he's all over Instagram, thanking everybody for all the work that he did. So it's not as if there doesn't exist other lines of funding for just about any student coming to the Hebrew University who shows financial need and has the capacity to come to the university. So this is a niche campaign, absolutely. There's not anyone, it's somewhat evident when a student applies where their background is from. As Maxine said, there are government programs that are helping in this area.
One of the things I also wanted to add was just from the students we've spoken to who received scholarships from Goodman Foundation up until now, they're very proud of their heritage. They want to talk about it and they want to tell other people about it. So it's a wonderful learning opportunity. And you know, it's great to see, because they're going to be the ones who will go out and really break the barriers with that pride in their background. So, you know, when I see them at the master's level and PhDs or people going into medical school, you know, you just see that it's really making a difference. It's going to last for many generations.
Okay, now are you also going to accompany them if they need, you know, the 1 year preparation, the 1 or 2 year preparation? Because if they already make it to the undergrad level, the undergrad university level, means that they're smart, they already have an education because of high school. But I think maybe it should they should be helped along the way in high school.
They have it. They have the programs. They have the Al-Fatena program. They have the Mishpatim program. Those programs exist. We're here to service what isn't being taken care of, because those programs are very robust and they're healthy, and we've got plenty of donors who are supporting those programs. This campaign was intended specifically to fill the niche that wasn't being filled, which was once they've done all the preparatory programs, once they're in university, how do we help them to succeed and ensure that they're graduating without having to worry about financial burdens? Most of the students pre this program, a lot of them were working full-time, taking care of their family, often taking care of siblings, and also going to school. This ensures that they can focus 100% on their schooling without the financial burdens that make them have to juggle so many things. But you're 100% right. Those programs are robust. They are in Israel. They are working. We're working together to look at if there are specific needs for the community in some of these preparatory programs. But as it stands right now, those are robust. They're being taken care of. They pre-exist, predate, they're there. We looked and saw, once they get in, then what happens? Where can we help where it's most needed? And that was the beautiful thing about this campaign, is that it was the university that directed us to say, this is where we most have a need. Can you fill this gap? And that's exactly what we're doing.
Debbie, I know we're arriving at the end of our time, but I just want to add one thing that may be of interest. One of the things we have looked at is additional coaching, tutorial, etc., that people may need while they're in university. So there's funds set aside for, we're going to set aside funds for that purpose, because we want to make sure that students aren't dropping out because they don't have the support and the attention and the accompaniment that they need.
And now we have the students to do it.
What I'd just like to close with, we have a committee that has it's populated by many people, some with means. Elie Wiesel's son is on our committee. If you have a gift where adding him or her to our committee would help close that gift, I'm happy to take the addition.
Yeah.
We're in the fundraising business. We need to raise the we need to raise the capital, and we'll do what we need to do to make it happen.
And we'll send you more information if needed, like we have brochures, we've got a beautiful website. And this, I think, is recording
Debbie,
will be helpful too.
the trip to Ethiopia is organized by whom? By the foundation? By
100% by the
100%.
foundation.
Kol hakavod.
We're just bringing people in. They have it all arranged.
I think in terms of fundraising, it is a very good vehicle to engage people. And if you can have more information, like even printed, we can disperse it throughout network. We have 6,000 people on our mailing list. I'll be happy to send that, and interest people who are not in our very close circles, but other circles. It might be very interesting as a proposal to go pay $18,000 and go to this mission, and then we can, I think, have more chance to find people who will engage. So if you have anything that you can send me, and we can even print it here in Israel or in France or in Belgium, whatever, or translate it to French, we'll be happy. It's already in French.
Already translated.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It will be very, very important for us and very useful.
Okay.
And then Jonathan, for meetings, I'll have to discuss specifically with each of the presidents and see if he can target one or two people, and then we can, on your travel to Europe, we could start try to fix some meetings for you if you are on the way to Europe. And even
now in Europe, it's summer holidays, so I'm not sure I can reach people.
No, not now.
Willing to discuss that.
No,
Okay.
October, November. No, now.
Yeah,
you
that's
see,
fine. Yeah.
we have barely 5-6 people for this meeting, and believe me, I sent for more than 80. So this is a bad season to try to do that. But for October, November, after the holidays, the Jewish holidays, it's much more with a higher chance to do that.
Beautiful.
So,
thank you.
Thank you very much, and Debbie, thank you for this introduction, and we'll try to make our best to help. And toda, good luck.
Good luck.
And congratulations.
Merci beaucoup.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.